reflection, I chose to read The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill. It was published by Algonquin Young Readers. Not sure if I said that right, but copyright is 2016. It won the Newbery Medal in 2017, so that's impressive. It's a pretty thick book. It's about 400 pages, 386 to be exact. And so the intended age is 10 and up. I'm going to try and summarize it the best I can, but it's a very intricate book from multiple different viewpoints. But the gist of it is they leave a child every day in this town called the Protectorate. They take the youngest born child, leave it in the woods as a peace offering to this said witch. And the Council of Elders and the sisters are the leaders of the Protectorate, and they're the ones who claim that there's a witch in the woods when really there's not, but they find that out at the end. Luna, the main girl, is taken one year, and Zan, who is an elder lady, usually takes the babies from where they're placed and take them through the forest to the free cities where they can grow up and have a normal life. Luna just happened to be one of them, but instead of feeding her starlight, Zan fed her moonlight, which is why the book is called The Girl Who Drank the Moon. So now she has magic in her, and so Zan can't just give away Luna when she has magic flowing through her veins. So she just decides to keep her. And as a result, her, Glurk, which is a swamp monster, and Furion, a little dragon, they all work together to help Luna learn magic, control it, etc. Switching gears over to Antane. He lives in the Protectorate. He's one of the council members in training. He watched as Luna was taken away from her mother, and they call her mother the Mad Woman now because she's locked up in a tower because she just completely lost it. And Antane, for the rest of his life, had that image stuck in his head. And so when it fast forward to when Antane's older and he has a wife and he has a kid, his son is going to be the youngest. So come the day of sacrifice, his son would have to be the one taken. But he didn't want that to happen, so he went to the woods to find this said witch, aka Zan, and kill her. But they end up meeting up, and Zan and Luna explain that Zan is actually the one who helps the kids live their lives and not die in the woods. And so Antane goes back, and they all realize that Sister Ignatia, one of the leaders, is actually the mastermind behind the whole idea. She's called a sorrow eater, so when the kids are taken, she feeds off of the sorrow from the families, and that's how she gets her power. So as a theme to this book, I think there's a couple different ones. One, from Antane's perspective, you could say that it only takes one person, one idea, one person to question everything that's happening to change an entire order. Like Antane questioned why they had to bring the baby to sacrifice, and as a result, he went to the woods, figured everything out, and turns out there's literally no need. And so all those babies were taken for nothing. Another one, a bigger one in my opinion, is that sometimes people do bad things because bad things have been done to them. And Sister Ignatia is a huge example of that because it kind of shows back history where things happen to her, and as a result, she's now harming other people. And I think it's important that you can either use your experiences you go through to help or harm. Unfortunately, Sister Ignatia used it to harm people, and she paid the price for it in the end. But regardless, people who do bad things are still people, and we need to treat them as such. I know it can be hard because a lot of times they're very challenging, but it's worth it because you never know how far being nice to somebody can go, and it can honestly change their whole perspective about things. To go with that, I think an activity for kids that they could do is Glurk. I know I didn't mention him a lot because I had to kind of hurry up through my summary, and I'm still over time, but Glurk tells poems throughout the story to help Luna and Furion through the conflicts that they're going through. So I thought it would be a good idea for the students to think of a conflict and then think of a poem that can go along with that, either to help them like solve the problem or in a way to help them think outside the box, I guess, in a way. I can't really put into words what I want the poem to do exactly, but I have it in my head, and I will explain it better in my written reflection. But that is my book.